Look at that, look at that. There's a tiny, tiny leopard cub. Karula has given birth overnight. Look at the little guy who just came around the corner. That is incredible. That's probably his first solo kill.
Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, and have a look, here comes Hosanna with the monitor lizard.
Oh, Hosanna, I don't think I've ever seen a leopard fall out of as many trees as I've seen you fall out of.
Hosanna, of course, at the same time decided to go climbing up the tree. He's just nearly fallen out of it again.
Hosanna's flat. Couple Impala there. Once he starts hunting, he never stops.
Look at that, he's running away. The buffalo is chasing Hosanna at the moment. Hosanna is going very fast now, trying to run away from this very big animal coming. That was so funny.
If I could take you on safari all day and all night, I would. But unfortunately, it's not always the best time to see the animals. Now, in between safaris, you can watch the WildEarth channel with loads of extra shows. If you have a connected television, Apple TV or Roku box, then download the WildEarth app, and if not, then just find it on the App Store on your phone.
Wildlife trafficking remains a growing problem in South Africa, and often made worse by the way the media portray this complex issue. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, have recently embarked on a program whereby they train reporters to better tell stories of wildlife trafficking.
In my community, wildlife conservation is mostly something other people do, and I would like to change that. My name is Iman Singli. I told people I met that the pangolin is one of the most trafficked animals on the planet. But what is a pangolin, they said? Why is it in danger? This is what made me decide that the pangolin story must be told. If we are to play a part in preventing the extinction of this animal, then we must all be part of the battle.
A partnership between WWF South Africa and WESA, supported by USAID.
Truly fascinating is Comet. So now that I know it's Comet, I might have had a grape juice last night too. My eyes are slightly blurry. Now that I know it's Comet, that was fascinating watching his interaction with Cacao, because they are two males and they have their sort of own hierarchy, but it's not based on the same... It's not based on the same sort of way it is for the females. It's very, very different for the males, but it shows you that Comet right now, as we have suspected for a long time now, is very much a dominant male. He was the one that was sort of seen really trying to impress Ribbon back in the day before she gave birth. Could potentially be the father, but they are promiscuous, as you know, same as leopards and lions. And it shows you that Cacao's definitely not in a sort of high position, even though he has been with the clan some time. Oh, now I see what's beeping. There we go. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to follow them. Dear Wendy. She's a little bit rough these days. Oh, a few hyenas on dam cam. I wonder if this is them or other ones. But they've come up from Gowrie Dam. They've come up from that side of the world. And they're heading Twin Dams Road. So I wonder if they're heading to the Den area. And this morning, as you can see, there. It's overcast. It's not cold. I've got short sleeves on. But it's still cool enough for these animals to be mobile, and that's exactly what they are. Do you know, I don't think I'm going to Bundabash. Wendy's not in a great condition. I think I'm going to go the long way round. And Semba, you're saying, what a surprise. Yes, a surprise. Surprised to see the Djuma clan and me. I have to say, there are so many individuals that I want to catch up with, but of course the Djuma clan was the top. I was sad to leave when that saga was going on. I really was. I I suspected Corky was trying to retake back the position, but I didn't know. I'd only seen sort of 2 days worth of sightings, Ali and I. And I was sad. It wasn't the right time to leave the Djuma clan. But that's okay. I think the boys did a really good job of following up with them. And it's fascinating what's happened. And I've done lots of research, and it's really not been recorded. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but in terms of literature and science, it's not been recorded what's happened with the Djuma clan. Really, it's remarkable, and I promise I will go into it. I just want to draw some things out for you before I go into it. And before I forget, I got to finally see a brown hyena. Woohoo! Took me long enough. Travelled all the way to Namibia, didn't see one. Went to Swallow, did not see one. But finally I went to a game reserve called Maternal, and I saw one. And if you don't believe me, I have photos, so it's all good. It's also interesting that June is with them. Okay. I really do have a funny feeling the clan has settled. And although there was turbulence, I really think it's over now. But I'm not sure where Ribbon sits. She's not at the top, that's for sure. But I'm not sure exactly where she sits in the hierarchy anymore. So that's what I really need to dive into and find out. What is the hierarchy of the Djuma clan now? I don't know. But as I search for my hyenas, I believe Rickson's looking for his lions.
When I talk about the hippopotamus, I come back from Lauren. We just spotted dung of a hippo. Hippo was moving in the area. You can see the dung there on the ground. Definitely that's a hippopotamus. Hippo is one of the species very territorial in the area. They'll move out inland and set mark around in the area. They would never have a challenge fight out in the grazing land. They have to, of course, wait if they get a challenge in a pond with the female. But for them to really announce in the area, it's very, very important. Hippo, they set mark like lions and leopard do. But they set mark of the defecation, use the flat tail to flatten or scatter around the dung information. It will be in the bush, also on the ground. The reason behind that, all the species that are territorial, they have to scent mark. And the scent mark itself, it carries the status of individual out into the area of scent marking point. If the female walks around in the area, it's more important in the world of the hippo to know that who is the dominant and who is the hippo that is more half into the area. When they walk around and get to his pond, they know that they will be more safe. Remember, when it comes to territorial, it's all about survival of the fittest. If you're not fit, is where you will be really thrown out from the territorial or being with the female. So now and again, there will be more hippo-dominant males that might be also walking around in the area because they don't challenge one another when it comes to the territorial pond, well, with the raft of the hippo. They all read you, and if they find that on your scent mark, your status is very low. It shows that you are weak, you are sick, you're not in a good condition. All of that, they will come and look for you and push you out with the female. That's the reason you might find the hippos, they are so much protective when it comes to the raft of the hippo. If one hippo comes to that particular point, they have to fight for death. I've seen this happen quite a lot. Two hippos that really challenge one another. It's a very serious fight. So here we have few dominant males that might be really governing one of the waterhole, which is Befesuk. We have seen that he moves quite a lot sometimes, Gary Dam. And our close neighborhood, Chita, you see one dominant male hippo that is always on that waterhole with all females. The tracks of this hippo was moving east into the area. Looked like he cut straight to the left there. He might come in and out, but definitely he is walking in our direction. He might be going Befesuk Dam. If we're lucky, later on we might pass Befesuk Dam and see if he's around there. But it's only the water point in the area where we are. There's no other dam, unless if he headed across straight to the east. Benjamin asking a question, do hippo and elephant do break their legs? Yes, Benjamin, it might happen. Sometimes you might find that if they are threatened by something, running into the area where it might lose a leg, especially in a drainage line, a rocky area, forcing themselves hard in those areas because they get threatened, yes, they might lose the leg. I've seen elephant that lose her leg, of course, from going into an area where it's very rough. So his tracks of hippo, it looks like crossing, was heading towards the opposite direction, not Befesuk Dam. It looks like it's going to go towards Chitwa Waterhole. So it do happen, and elephant do happen, hippo do happen, more especially when it comes to fight and they really chase one another, because that is a serious fight and you have to run for your life. If there's anything along or anything where you're going, you're able to broke your legs. We'll be, of course, see what Lauren up to with the hyenas.
The spotted hyena is one of Africa's most dominant predators. They are incredible hunters and infamous scavengers. Ribbon is the matriarch of the Djuma clan, and she rules with an iron fist. She emerged from the bottom to become the lady in charge by challenging the status quo and overthrowing Corky.
Sitting pretty as the king of the castle.
Currently, she is denning with 2 brand new cubs.
Now, isn't this just awesome? We're sitting here with the Djuma clan, and this particular individual, her name is Ribbon.
WildEarth will be following their lives as they grow from tiny, vulnerable cubs to full-grown adults who can survive in the African wild. If you are fascinated by this famous clan, then why not buy a non-fungible token of one of their unique members? Head over to our website to find out more.
When on safari, there's nothing better than an evening spent under the stars chatting around a fire, with the sounds of the wild all around you. If you sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, you can build your own memories by joining our guides for regular fireside chats. Subscription payments can be made by PayPal, credit card, and now bank transfer. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. BirdLife South Africa, our country's only dedicated bird conservation organization. They have been very successful in a number of areas, including the conservation of more than 150,000 hectares of grasslands and estuary habitat, saving thousands of albatrosses in trawl and longline fishing, and training community bird guides as ambassadors for nature in rural areas. Celebrating their official 25th anniversary, they are sharing 25 of their top success stories across their social media platforms. BirdLife South Africa is currently striving towards the conservation of 132 bird species that are heading for extinction. If we conserve birds, we will protect other biodiversity and important habitats that provide clean water and clean air for humans. Their work is forever ongoing. People who love birds can become a member of BirdLife South Africa or make a donation towards a bird conservation project.
Welcome back from Lauren with the hyena. We have an opportunity today to stop here and look at the beautiful tree called Marula. This is called Marula tree, not Marula. Marula tree is one of the tree, of course, that really likes by leopards around in the area hosting kills up to the tree. There's few reason behind that. Marula tree, if you get a look on the trunk itself, it's one of the tree, it look like a lot of bark around. Very soft trunk. The leopard can jump that low easily in order to really carry the weight of whatever there might be up into the tree using the soft bark of a marula tree. Marula tree is one of the tree, of course, we really see quite a lot around February, February, they have fruits in the area. They're liked by elephant, liked by lot general species around here. You can see kudu, warthog, lots of them to mention, all the herbivores. Marula fruit, it does have vitamin C, and it's really, really sweet to eat around in the area. Tend to see elephants prefer this particular tree. And today we have this opportunity that we can show you how a marula tree look like. We've been doing drives sometimes and not to show you how these trees, and this is one of the familiar tree, the marula fruit, you can make an alcohol called a marula. Everyone really enjoy if you come here in safari, enjoying safari around here with sundowners. We tend to see people prefer that to drink quite more, most of our guests. There's one of the three, of course, again, you tend to see used by lions. If there's any kills up in a tree, you'll find that more especially female lions, they like to climb the marula tree to scavenge the kills from leopards. A part of that is one of the tree that really also preferred by elephant, use this tree as a shadow on lions and more species around in the area. Marula provide a very beautiful shadow, of course, when it's hot in the surroundings, moving around in the area, looking for a leopard, you have to check underneath this particular tree. The African people, Denise, it's common, but I'm not sure other part of Africa. It's very common to find a marula tree around Africa. A part of the animals, the African people use this particular tree treating flu. They debark the tree itself and boil the bark at least for a few hours. And after that, they can drink the tea from that diluted from the bark and from the boiling. Hoping, in most cases, many Africans around in the area, once I talk about this, they know exactly this is the medicine, one of the medicine trees around the area. I grew up in the area. This is one of the trees, of course, that we used to drink the deep bark treating flu. We'll be linking back to Lauren, which might be still around following the beautiful hyenas.
I'm on the way to the den. I think the hyenas might have went the other way. If you are watching Dam Cam, keep your eye on the Dam Cam. If the hyenas appear, I'll race back that way. But I do just want to check the den to see if Ribbon's here or anybody else is here. And she's still using this den. It's been a while now. She could have easily have moved these two. And I don't even know the sex of them. I believe one's a boy. I don't know if the other one has been confirmed or not. But as usual, we shall do some zooming into the genitalia to figure it out. Oh, I see spots. I see spots. Oh, I see spots. I see spots. Hello, Ribbon. Happy New Year. I don't think 2021 ended that well for you either, did it? Sorry about that, everyone. And I don't know where you lost us. So we're at the date. I don't know if you saw that or not. But naturally, Ribbon is here with their little bundles of joy. Or is it terror, Ribbon? I think it's joy. Now, I mentioned earlier, I do believe one of them is a male, but I really don't know if they're both males. I really have no idea. And it's just so good to see them. The den is so overgrown, it's so thick. When I left, it didn't look like this. It brings back lots of memories when in Gwazi and Shimbulu, where firstborn, the den obviously isn't this den, but the den very much looked like this. Green, wet, damp, lush, emerald. And Ribbon's done so well. No matter what she's been through, she's lost her tail. Her ear is, I mean, it was always unique, that butterfly ear, but I think I have to say it's even more unique now. She's done so well. But I think it's important to note, I do believe there was a horrible incident at Pridelands maybe, I don't know, a few months ago now, involving hyenas. But although I do believe Corky has taken back the position, I need to see them interact, but I do believe Corky's taken back that matriarchal position. I'll tell you why a little bit later. She was never out to kill the cubs because it benefits the clan. It's a very small clan if you think of it in comparison to the North clan and the Masai Mara, which is like 90 strong, I believe. It was never about murder. They are all one society. They're a social unit. It doesn't benefit a hyena to kill all the other hyenas and kill the cubs, really. It was about Ribbon. Corky was never really going to harm these cubs unless they got caught up in some sort of battle. It was about Ribbon. And getting Ribbon to understand, you need to go back down the ladder. Ribs, you've had your time. You've had 2 years. And of course, Ribbon immediately knew what was going on. And I know many of you were worried about the cubs, understandably so, but it was really never about that. I don't think the cubs were ever going to get harmed. And because the cubs learn from the behavior of the mum, it's not genetic, it's not hormonal, it's behavior. Because this happened when they were so young, I think they will quickly learn that they're not high-ranked cubs anymore, I'm afraid. I don't know where you sit, but you're not high-ranked. Matt, Ribbon does look content. I love her too. I love her lots and lots. I guess when I first met Ribbon, she was a low ranker. Many of you will remember that, but maybe some of you won't. Ribbon was at the bottom of the pile. On that proverbial ladder, she was literally on the lowest rung. I met her when she had Paddy and another cub that she lost, and she was just the lowest ranking hyena. She was fabulous. And she worked her way up to the top, which was so impressive, but it does seem like she may be at the bottom again. Has she just slotted back down to the bottom? I'm not sure. Are you still higher than June? I'm not sure. But in my opinion, I do feel that Ribbon is gentle in terms of being a matriarch. I found her quite calm and not so aggressive in comparison to Corky. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Corky as well. But just in my opinion, I found Corky a little bit more of an aggressive matriarch. And that's just the nature of the beast itself. Corky comes from a high-ranked lineage. She's always had that silver spoon in her mouth. Ribbon didn't. Does that make a difference? I don't know. Is it impossible for low rankers to maintain that top position? I also don't know. Waffles did. Waffles in the Masai Mara. If you don't know her, she's actually very famous. You should Google Waffles. She maintained that position and she even handed it down to her grandmother. But maybe Ribbon just wasn't destined to have that position for too long. It was fascinating. It's really fascinating. If you compare the North Clan, we used to follow the North Clan extensively in the Masai Mara, and the Djuma clan, what's happened to the two of them is strikingly different. Big contrast to what happened. Starts off the same. The lowest ranker, I mean the clan size is very, very different, but the lowest ranker, being Waffles and Ribbon, decided to gather an army and conduct a matriarchal overthrow. They succeeded. Waffles became the matriarch, Ribbon became the matriarch. So far, very similar. But then Ribbon appears to have lost her position after 2 years. Waffles held on to it. She became an incredible matriarch, larger than life, literally. And at a ripe old age, Waffles decided to sort of hand the position to Soup, her granddaughter. Soup got a little bit aggressive, a little bit too big for her boots, tested the waters, and Waffles allowed it. Waffles literally just stepped down. She wasn't overthrown. She just stepped down and handed it over to her granddaughter because it made sense. Waffles was getting old. She didn't want to be overthrown herself. So why not give it to your bloodline? Why not allow your bloodline to take over that position? Amazing. But that's not what happened with Ribbon. I'm so happy to be back at the den once again. We're sitting here at one of my favorite places in the whole reserve, and the whole of the Sabi Sands, actually.
Look at their vocal males, so they're definitely a bit older than what I thought when we were looking at them. They're just under 5.
This area had recently been vacated by the Birmingham boys. The Avokas grabbed the opportunity and took over the Talamati and Nkuhuma prides quickly. In 2019, they were seen mating with females from both prides and went on to sire cubs with them.
We are very privileged to be watching the Nkuhuma pride as the sun comes up.
The most recognizable lion in this coalition is Darkmane. Aside from the dark mane that gave him his name, he can be recognized by a distinctive limp. This limp stems from an injury to his right leg he sustained while taking down a buffalo with the Nkuhuma pride. If you want to celebrate these individual cats, then head over to our website to learn more about our non-fungible tokens.
As a naturalist, it's really important that I stay up to date and up to breast with what's happening in the wild and in the world around us. The WildEarth app helps us do that and helps us stay abreast with the live interactions of animals every day. We're going to be here at Stony Point bringing you the African penguin story, and we'd love to see you on the app. See you on the beach.
For those of you who love to join us on safari here on WildEarth, we have some news.
This is incredibly exciting.
The team have trawled through the archives and found the very best of safari live from over the years.
Come and disperse the...
With locations such as the Masai Mara in Kenya.
You can see how close he is from where I am.
Tswalu in the Kalahari.
It is absolutely incredible.
And of course Pinda and Ngala right here on our doorstep.
Listen.
We have hours of great entertainment that is now playing on our channel. Catch up with guides from the past and of course your favorite animal characters.
It's happening. I've never seen this before.
The best of Safari Live will be broadcast on WildEarth channel daily, so jump on board and join us down memory lane. Times for this brand new series are on our website.
We just arrived here by Feswick Dam. We look like we have a young hippo that really in the water. We check around, there's not much. As you can see, might be not that young, maybe around the age of 12, 15, somewhere there. If I look around out of the dam, it looked like he was scent marking, moving up in the area. A hippo can cover 40 kilometers in a grazing land out. Of course, hippo scent mark, as I was saying earlier on, it tells that he is the one that may be dominant in this waterhole. He's going to fight if any male comes into the area. As you can look there, this is the guarantee that he is a dominant male. He has scent mark on the ground, also from the dead bushes and leaf. He might be the same hippo that walks around across Central, heading as going towards Chito Waterhole. I've seen quite a lot over many years. Hippo would never ever fight if they bump to another hippo out inland. In a grazing area, hippo tend to know that it's a home range area. They cannot really be territorial, but they will announce their area of living. We are lucky now here we get to see this beautiful coloring species called woodland kingfisher. Earlier on when we get here, the woodland and red buffalo weaver, they were having a little bit of argument. I believe the weaver decided to leave the area, and they will be back because look like this tree, they used to have a nest and they were in and out below the woodland kingfisher trying to rebuild the nest. We'll wait until maybe if the red buffalo weaver comes back to show exactly what they're doing. If you look at this species, look below the chin and the breast, they are really wet. They dive into the water with the chest and get to the water and get the water from the chicks. As he hits the water, he'll fly away and land and manage to sit and enjoy the water from the fair itself, drinking water. As you can see now, what he's doing is taking all the water that might be on the chest, also making sure the wings that he has to clean it. He's cleaning the wings and lubricate each and every bird. They got saliva that it look like shiny, like a polish, that if they really do that, they left on the wings that makes the species more shining itself, and also getting rid of the insect that might be parasiting in the body itself. They use the beak or dust bathing. Most of them, you see them shuffling the sands and allow the sand to go, with the fur in the body itself, and get rid of that parasite. Beautiful species. The intermigration, they migrate into Africa. Intermigration, which it moves within Africa. They don't go out of it. They don't go to Europe. They don't go to outside country. These woodland kingfisher, they have done research, they follow them a lot. If they move out of this area, they go to Zambia. From Zambia, they come back, same area, in the right time of the year, which is summer, around November, somewhere the 18th November. This has been in record here in Sabi Sand Djuma Safari Life. For many years, 18 November, you get to see them singing, flying around in the area the most. It might be earlier, it might be differ sometimes, there might be earlier due to the weather, of course. The colors are the same, Sharon. It might be all about the size. The size must be slightly different. Of course, you know that some of the bird species, males are slightly bigger. Some of the species, female are a little bit bigger. But in this regard of the woodland, I haven't noticed quite a lot or follow up. But I will manage to find that who's the biggest between male and the female. But in most cases, you might find that the one that really big in most species is the male. If you look, it's a female. If you look at the eagles, the one that is smaller, it's a male. The one is big, it's a female, because female, they spend more time when they have eggs, laying eggs, incubation and all that. They need to sit and able to cover the eggs in the nest. When they also get hatched, they have to protect the chicks while they're still young. So they're slightly bigger due to that reason. Jenny, thank you for your comment. It's lovely, lovely, beautiful. It's looking beautiful also. If you look at those colors, blue, grayish, red, black, it's one of the species, of course, even more colors that might be appearing. I'm not good in colors because I grew up in the local communities in rural areas. We don't use colors most, but this is the most beautiful species. We've got those red, grayish, blue colors, similar with the lilac-breasted roller. Lovely looking species. We're waiting if we can see the red-billed. The buffalo weaver haven't come. Look like it all went. We'll be linking back to Lauren. With the hyenas around the dam.
And talking of sizes, of course, female hyenas are bigger than male hyenas. But we all know. Do you have two boys, Ruben? That'd be fascinating if she had another litter of two boys. If anybody does know the sex, I really don't know. When I was here, they were far too young and we weren't really seeing them too often. too sweet. But I did come here on my visit for the fireside chat, and I definitely saw that one of them was a boy, but I didn't get to look at the other one. There was a sort of theory for a while that high-ranked individuals, the matriarchs, will produce girls. It was sort of debunked, but to be honest, Ribbon was never supposed to be at the top. Where are your ribs? But naturally, she has got Djuma. And Djuma will be her strongest sort of alliance, no matter what happens in the clan. And did you get that name, Dove?
Aussie Susie.
Aussie Susie. Aussie Susie, hello. G'day, mate. That's terrible. That didn't sound remotely Australian. Anyway, that's a good question. I don't know. These cubs, yes, absolutely. They will just follow mom at this age. Oofed. Behave. Auntie Lauren's here. Look, they're starting to get white little faces. But as for Ngwazi, her son, and Djuma, her daughter, I don't know. And that's what I want to figure out, because there's nothing about this written down. It's really, really fascinating what's happened here. It's remarkable, and I can't stop saying that, because really, I wish we could just, well, we did document it to an extent. A matriarch getting overthrown, waiting 2 years, and coming right back again and taking the position back. Mind-blowing stuff. So, I would assume Djuma, no. I think Djuma is an established adult in the clan. I don't know where she sits now, but I don't think just because Ribbon's gone down, she will. But as for Ngwazi, I'm not sure. He's a March 2020 baby, so he's not even 2 yet. Soon, he's close to it, but he's not. And I'm really not sure. He's a male as well, so naturally they do disperse. But I don't think he sits at the top anymore, that's for sure. But all the same, good question, and that's what I'm determined to figure out. There's a lot I have to figure out. And the only way to do it is by observing. We need those interactions between individuals. Look at this bear. But what I want to get to is new research actually shows that not only do high-ranking hyena cubs inherit their rank from their mother, and again, it's from behavior. It's not genetic, it's not hormonal, it's behavior-driven. And there's lots of studies that can prove that. Separating twin litters, putting them in different scenarios, watching them in captivity, but it's behavior-driven. And they don't only inherit their rank from their mother, they also inherit, and it's now been proven, their mother's social network of allies. And when we say friends, okay, I'm using that really loosely, but you can actually apply that to hyenas. They do have a social network. They do rely on allies. And that's exactly why we found Corky teaming up with Ndebele and Swazi. Corky won't eat that position back. She's a high ranker. If you're a high ranker, you don't stop being a high ranker, and she didn't like being at the bottom. She gave Ribbon time. She obviously gave birth. It's believed that she's lost Braveheart, which is very sad. But she decided she's a high ranker. She's going to go back to being a high ranker. And that's why she called up her allies. And who are pretty? Who are Swazi and Ndebele? Pretty's offspring. Who was Pretty? Corky's best friend. Where did Pretty sit in the hierarchy? Right at the top with Corks. Many of you know that already, but for those that don't, Corky literally just gathered her network, which was her best friend's offspring, who are obviously now grown up, Swazi and Ndebele, and they became her army for a takeover. Why did they do that? Because they're bonded to Corks. That's their sort of social grouping. And it's from their mother. And actually new research shows that. And it's a privilege. You get your mother's rank, you get your mother's social network, and it's fascinating. Ribbon was possibly never supposed to be at the top. But she did it, and she succeeded. But she's a low ranker, and maybe she's just supposed to sit at the bottom. Now, Pretty's no longer with us, for those who are not sure who Pretty is or was. She's a gorgeous hyena, but sadly she's no longer with us. But she used to be a very high-ranked individual of the Djuma clan. So I think I'm just going to sit here for a tad longer and enjoy my morning with Ribbon. We're still sitting at the hyena den. It's far too...
So this is our first good look at their voca so they're definitely a bit older than what I thought when we were looking at them. They're just under 5.
This area had recently been vacated by the Birmingham boys. The Avokas grabbed the opportunity and took over the Talamati and Nkuhuma prides quickly. In 2019, they were seen mating with females from both prides and went on to sire cubs with them.
And we are very privileged to be watching the Nkuhuma pride as the sun comes up.
The most recognizable lion in this coalition is Darkmane. Aside from the dark mane that gave him his name, he can be recognized by a distinctive limp. This limp stems from an injury to his right leg he sustained while taking down a buffalo with the Nkuhuma pride. If you want to celebrate these individual cats, then head over to our website to learn more about our non-fungible tokens.
As a naturalist, it's really important that I stay up to date and up to breast with what's happening in the wild and in the world around us. The WildEarth app helps us do that and helps us stay abreast with the live interactions of animals every day. We're going to be here at Stony Point bringing you the African penguin story, and we'd love to see you on the app. See you on the beach.
For those of you who love to join us on safari here on WildEarth, we have some news.
This is incredibly exciting.
The team have trawled through the archives and found the very best of safari live from over the years.
Come and disperse there.
With locations such as the Masai Mara in Kenya.
You can see how close he is from where I am.
Tswalu in the Kalahari.
It is absolutely incredible.
And of course Pinda and Ngala right here on our doorstep.
Listen.
We have hours of great entertainment that is now playing on our channel. Catch up with guides from the past and of course your favorite animal characters.
It's happening. I've never seen this before.
The best of Safari Live will be broadcast on WildEarth channel daily, so jump on board and join us down memory lane. Times for this brand new series are on our website.
Heading west, we had a very loud excitement of the hyena in the area. We were trying to move into the area where almost the sound comes from. We know that in the area, once the hyena gives that excitement sort of calls, it might be something. And the most, maybe it might be a kill from leopard or from the lions or from cheetah. You'll never know unless if you don't check the area. We have to check the area and see what might be. It might be furthermore because we were a little bit high ground and it sounds like in the low area might be across, but I'm predicting it could be maybe wild dogs back in the area. You never know. The area where the sounds more, let's hyenas and the way they're calling, they're so excited in a degree of they have no fear of anything. In most cases, when the lions are fearing, when the hyena are fearing, they cannot even make a sound. So wherever they're making sound, it means they're free and they're winning the situation. So we'll try to check around in the area if we might be lucky seeing something. Thank you, everyone. Crossing finger for wild dogs. Let's, hope so. All of us will might really see them, but I just estimate the distance where the sound comes from. But with Triple M, where we saw wild dog yesterday, more or less Impala Plains power line and that section. Tracks of Ellis just cross the road. We'll be linking back to Lauren with the beautiful puppies of hyenas.
Good luck, Rickson. If anyone can find it, it's Rickson. Fantastic human being. Taught me mostly everything I know on Bushwalk. Rickson and Herbie, those were the days. Now, just to wrap up, I do obviously want to explore a little bit around the reserve. What I was trying to say earlier is that this is fairly new science as well, that naturally dominance in spotted hyenas, at least, is not related to size or strength. We know that. I mean, you will be bigger the more dominant you are, but it's not related. It is all to do with where you sit on that hierarchy, what rank you get from your mum. And the study showed that even in younger hyenas, the social network is the same as the mom. So the sort of allies that you have, and we've witnessed this through the Djuma clan, are what you inherit as a youngster, as I've already mentioned. And the similarity, believe it or not, it was shown that even after the mothers passed away, so let's say, for example, Pretty, the persistence of that social network stays the same for 6 or more years in some examples that have been followed in nature. So exactly like Pretty, she passed. It was very, very sad, 2019. I want to say November. I could also be lying. The latter half of the year, Pretty passed away, and it was the last sighting of her. It was myself that had that sighting. And I guess that's 2 years later almost, or at least, 2 years later. And Corky, Swazi and Indabelli still have that tight bond. They still have that friendship, if you like, even though Pretty is passed. And this is where all this stemmed from. Corky gathered her allies. I don't think she could have done it alone. And immediately, behaviourally, Ribbon knew, my time is up. But I just want to know what the hierarchy is now, and where everyone sits. I have a funny feeling it could be Corky then Hart, but I really am speculating. I haven't been here long enough to judge all that. I've been away for quite some time. And the study also showed that this pattern is more clearly seen in high-ranked individuals than low-ranked individuals. So what this means, if you are a high-ranked individual, you come from a high-ranked lineage, your mother, your grandmother, you've really been born with that silver spoon in your mouth, then you are going to have the bigger, strongest social network. And there's sort of two theories as to why that might be. It may just be that low-ranking individuals like Ribbon associate with a greater variety of individuals. So she doesn't have that strong network, that clique, if you like, that gang that sit at the top. And maybe Ribbon, or a low-ranked individual, will mingle with everybody. So she'll just socialize with everyone. And maybe this is sort of attempting to compensate, if you like, for the disadvantage in position. Or the second theory is that low-ranked mothers, low-ranked females, tend to spend more time on their own to avoid antagonistic interactions, if you like. Those are two theories as to why high-ranked individuals in any clan that's been studied seem to have this really tight gang, this tight network of others, and the low-rankers don't. It's all too fascinating. But we witnessed it. You all got to witness that, even when Ribbon was sort of trapped in twin dams. Ella, me too. I would absolutely love to study them more. They're doing a remarkable job up in the Masai Mara with the North Clan. But I would really, really love to study them, follow them, do a documentary, and just really figure out more about these animals. I think the hyenas in the Masai Mara, for example, even though it's the same species, spotted hyenas, I think behaviourally they're very, very different from the low-felt hyenas. So many factors will contribute to that. And we did get to see a fair bit of interactions of the takeover, but I just wished we could have seen everything. I wonder what gets me is what sparked Corky to do that. Why? The question is why. I think I know her long-term goal, but why did she just all of a sudden decide today's the day I've had enough? I've had enough of Ribbon. I don't know. Leopard lover, so good to hear from you and Happy New Year. You're asking about males leading the clan. Now, this is a topic of much debate. Some people say yes. I think Kenya, possibly, maybe Tanzania, there's an example of a male sort of leading the clan. But in all honesty, I don't believe that was a male leading the clan. They are matriarchal beings that exist in a very complex, one of the most complex of all apex predators societies, and they are female driven. So maybe if something happened to the clan, they split, or the matriarch was killed, maybe a male would take the lead, but I really don't believe so. Spotted hyenas are spotted hyenas due to their matriarch, due to the fact that they are female-led, just like elephants. You wouldn't find a bull elephant leading a herd. But it's a fascinating question, because you will ask some people and they will say, yeah, it's this male-led, this clan. But really, that's not what's intrinsically, that's not how they're wired. Hyenas are all about the females. I think that's what I find so fascinating about them. And it's just also remarkable that Ribbon immediately knew what was going on when Corky decided to do what she did. Ribbon knew. She understood from the get-go. Well, I think I'm going to take a little bumble, see if I can catch up with the others, but we may eventually end up back here at the hyena den.
Welcome back from Lauren. We are here at the shortcut Galago. We had a strange noise that comes from the north. Looked like lions.
Took over her late mother's domain. She was a protective mother, once luring a baboon away from her cubs. Her young son Tamba continues to thrive to this day.
that wonderful, everybody? Tandi and Tamba.
Princess Tlalamba, daughter of Queen Tandi, is now the heir to the throne.
Tlalamba is now having a snooze on the branch. Absolutely gorgeous.
WildEarth is launching non-fungible tokens attached to many of the individual leopards that we have grown to love on WildEarth. If you are interested in being part of this pioneering initiative, then head over to our website to find out more.
Cape Nature is the chief custodian of the Western Cape of South Africa's natural environment. This highly successful organization strives to conserve the province's natural heritage to ensure a sustainable future. Besides nurturing nature, Cape Nature offers an authentic ecotourism experience to local and international visitors. And one of these experiences is walking amongst the penguins at Stony Point, or as we know it, Penguin Beach. WildEarth broadcasts live from here every day and is very privileged to be partnered with Cape Nature, who have focused their conservation efforts here. If you want to visit these iconic black and white African penguins for yourself, then head over to our website to find out more. Cape Nature. Conserve, explore, experience.
Oh, what are you doing? Are you trying out for the ballet? Now it's an itchy bottom. Up we get. Mom's coming. Everybody's moving off.
Welcome back. We're here at Galago. Actually, to see the elephant, the amount of the speed that the elephant were traveling, going to our right, straight to south. Unbelievable. I haven't seen an elephant running so fast. And we had a very, very strange sound from the area where they have crossed over. It looked like, for me, might be a lion, but I don't understand why the elephant is so nervous on that degree that they can run so fast. But I would like to see if they haven't crossed via axis and come back off road. I would like to go back again there by Befosuksai and see what might be coming on that area. Maybe they've seen lions, of course. Sometimes elephant will run away due to the youngster if they are more nervous from the lions. Sometimes they will stand their ground, trumpet and chase the lion. So you'll never know what exactly without investigating the area. Sometimes you might find that mixing the audio of lions, they might be there. Also, one of the female she might be on ostrich, and there's a young male that really wants to force mating, and the matriarch, what will do in most cases, if he's not happy, he'll run away, or if you want, you'll stand the ground and really push that male that need to come away from the area of the female that is in heat. So there's quite a lot of things that can happen. It's not always as a one answer that if a matriarch come across with the young bulls or old bull, they'll stay. Even if he's a right bull, he has to exercise before he gets to mate. He has to put an effort to make sure that the female is not mating with the very weak bull. So if he caught up with the female with the speed, it will mean that he is the best survival of the fittest. You know that if you're not fit, you cannot even mate. So a matriarch has to give a little bit of an exercise to the bull that needs to really get and mate with the female. There was a lot of elephant in the course of a night here. I believe the activities of elephant that's in the area at the moment is quite a lot more in the surrounding. We are not far from Vietela axis. We'll head more straight to the west and see if we can join up with this head. I'm very happy. I'm so excited excited to learn from this matriarch today what she up to. Sometimes in a bush you will learn something that you never come across with it. Behavior of species are always changing. Of course, we're heading west. We'll be like to take back to Lauren. She is in a bumble. Welcome back. We're back here live. We're heading west. I believe I can see some of the tracks, but notice some head that we are after. It looks like this head, it's a huge head. They are separated due to covering the area when it comes to grazing. How smart an elephant. They know that if they move in big heads, they might, or big numbers in a head, they might be really destroy the area. We'll be taking back to Lauren. She's trying to find something good for us.
I don't have anything, I'm afraid, but I am on my way to Treehouse Dam. I want to check all the dams. And I have heard that little twiglet has not been seen in a while, which is rather unfortunate. I know we don't do too well for signal, but I am going to check and maybe scratch around a little bit later, because I do know that we call it the S-bend in the Mowati. The sort of Mr. and Mrs. Wigg's house sits on that S-bend, and I know that Seb Wigg moved down. Once he got older and he started to become really mobile, he moved down, and that's where he sort of, in a southerly direction, that's where he set up shop, and he spent a lot of time there. You just had to re-find him. But then, when he got even older and he was able to fly, he actually moved south across the Mowati onto the other side of the embankment in this big jackalberry. And I'm just wondering if maybe the Wiggs have shifted a little bit. I think we need to scratch around properly, try and find Mrs. Wigg or Mr. Wigg, and then of course Twiglet. I'm not going to think that something bad has happened just yet. I'm going to really search around. They use that whole area, although we tend to see them in the same tree every time. They do use the whole area, so I'm just wondering whether they're on the other side, on a different jackalberry. But I also could be wrong. I would just like to scratch around and hopefully catch up with the Wiggs. Wouldn't that be so wonderful? I can't believe how thick it is. Black widow spider. Yes, I am. Of course I am. And we knew it. We knew it. We naturally found Tlalamba at the den, and we could hear cubs. I wasn't sure if it was one or two, but we thought two, and naturally she has two cubs, and they're older now. I believe they're estimated at around 3 months, so that's good news for spending time with them and following them. And yes, I can't wait. I really, really can't wait. Oh, hello. Did we interrupt you guys? Happy New Year. Don't get up for us, that's okay. I think I'd had a big night last night. He had a big night last night. Hello, handsome. Taking it easy, are you? I have to say, no matter where you go, kudos are just magnificent. There are two bulls here. You can't really see the other one, though. And of course, summer brings about such a change in everything, really. You can feel it. Yes, the vegetation changes, of course it does, and it really doesn't take much. It just takes a few drops of water, maybe more than a few drops, but it just takes a few bouts of rain and the entire landscape changes. It really doesn't take much water, and that's one thing that always surprised me about this environment. Obviously, we got a lot of water. I think recently over 300 mils. But it doesn't take much to transform the landscape. That soil is just waiting to be nourished, just waiting for moisture. And then, of course, as soon as it does get moisture, everything just starts to transform. The vegetation's waiting. This is part of the natural cycle. And it's not just the vegetation that's waiting, it's the animals too. And although summer brings about joy, it flushes out mange. A lot of the prey species, if you like, will give birth because food is plentiful. It's a feast for the predators. It's a feast for the birds. That's why they're here, to feast on all the insects. It's just a really joyous time. And naturally, the herbivores benefit nutritionally so much. Dr. Rocky Balboa. I hope you do it with your mouth closed. You can chew like that, but make sure your mouth is closed. Do you hear that, Mr. Kudu? You're inspiring people to chew like you. I remember when I used to chew bubblegum as a kid, my mother would always shout at me if I chewed with my mouth open. And that's what that looks like. Hubba bubba. I'm pretty sure that was the bubble gum I used to eat. Well, eat's not exactly eating, is it? Chew as a kid. Hubba bubba. Do you get hubba bubba here, Dobby?
No.
No?
No, chappies.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like you've missed out. But thank you for that, Dr. Rocky Balboa. I can't believe how relaxed this meal is. The thing is, when I turn on my engine, he's most likely going to get up, and I don't really want to disturb him. He's chilled, but look at those ears constantly swiveling, independently as well. There we go. I don't have to disturb him after all because he's up and he's on his own adventure for today.
Prince Hosanna was born in February 2016 to Karula, the Queen of Djuma. Over the years, this remarkable young male cat has captured the hearts of WildEarth viewers around the world.
He's just got the best facial expressions.
We met him the day he was born.
Look at the little guy. We just came around the corner.
Enjoyed his playful antics and watched his first hunt.
It is incredible. That's probably his first solo kill.
When his mother disappeared and was presumed dead, he was left alone at only 1 year of age. Remarkably, he survived against the odds to become an incredible male leopard. If you want to celebrate this cat whilst being involved in a pioneering initiative for conservation, head over to our website and buy a Hosanna token.
We baba swatika emsabeni, we baba babansati banhlupha, we baba abafika endlini yami awungathi bangafike kathithimela, we baba how city was a Friday, my darling, was a Friday.
This is that one, I don't know if you've seen guys make soap out of the leaves.
Yeah. Hey, my sweetie, was a Friday. langa linqonile wena.
There is clearly something in the vicinity around you that's drawn their attention. Yes, that meerkat in the tree is just the coolest of cool meerkats. But watch how he battles when he comes down. It would be like me climbing a tree, just better.
Welcome back. We in the area where we spotted tracks of a leopard. We were following the elephant that were running across the Karibia Band, heading into the area. They're moving very fast. Very much surprised. I can see here they cross and they're heading more directly south. And the leopard tracks look like it headed into the block where the elephant went. We'll go around. If one of the leopard may be tippy, it might be going towards Zoe, or if not, lying down in the area, just listening for the testiculars. Let me check. Maybe it might give us a joy here. Testiculars are very good pointers when it comes to a leopard. They're very good founders. They can tell you the presence of a leopard in the area. The reason I'm coming here, there's a termite here. I want to see if maybe not here. Look like not. We'll try to go around in the direction like where the spider asking a question about one of the kuhumas, if there's any news, not in particular, but to look like they went straight across to the west and they've made a kill down far in the area, at least maybe 20-25 kilometers away from here. She looked like she's doing well, but we'll find out more about it. I've seen they've posted the picture of these lions or video on the Facebook, so I'll manage to call on the guy that I know to find more details. Maybe in the afternoon I might have answer for how she's doing. Let's see if we may find these elephant and a leopard together. Tracks look like they're going straight direct east towards maybe what come out there by quarantine. But I doubt Tipi, he never go as far as that area. So I was just thinking and try to understand, because we had an audio, look like a growling of a lion. Maybe it could be a Tipi mating again with Kara on that area, but it was inside Befesu. That cannot help us unless if it does come into the boundary, then we can able to follow up. I'll be, of course, while we're still checking in the area, link back to Lauren.
Oh, fascinating, Rexon. Good luck. I'm still not at Treehouse Dam yet, but I am making my way there. I'm thinking about just searching Texans Road, which is the Hyena Den Road, the original Hyena Den Road, where you get Den 1, 2, 3, just to see if anyone's hanging around. It used to be a really prominent animal pathway. It's definitely now a road. 100% it is a road, but it still means that the animals use it, all of them. Now I know that some of you thought June was pregnant because she was, what, the size of a house. I have really don't think so. I could be wrong. I absolutely could be wrong. I love being wrong out here. That's how you learn. But I think it was just a food belly. And of course she's got full mammary glands because she is still suckling Novella. Novella's young. Remember, they can suckle up to 2 years. It's normally around 18 months, but it can go up to 2 years depending on sort of the environment and the rank of the hyena. So I don't think Juna's pregnant, but I'm just suspicious about a few others. So I thought, why not?
Welcome back live here on Djuma Safari Live. I would like to apologize for a technical problem that you're experiencing. We're still looking for our elephants. It looked like they've lost track. It's in between the block. It might be look like this actually a branch from the road. That means the elephant now have cut across here. They're going straight to the east. If you look at the grass, information coming to their left, it tells us the left elephant have come out of the area, heading in the area for quarantine. I'm not sure whether there might be yet there, but look like not as the head that we were following. But we have figured out why these elephants are running. Look like there's a male actually that really following them. He is in mass, so I've smelled that and really look like the matriarch is running away with the rest of the head with the reason behind. Now that if a male first time approach the head, there's quite a lot of young males and others involved in the head itself, so it has to be sorted out before the trouble gets in. I've seen from Impala plains, look like tracks of other head went in the opposite direction. Could be much young boys that are nearly under the age of 18 years. So it has to run away for their own life, because male, once he gets into that head, being in true mass, it's so much dangerous for other young males. If they're still with the female, it will really push them. You'll see some behavior when you get to see impala behavior when it comes to ratting. The elephant male, of course, when he gets into the area, of course, he will be so much aggressive with young males. These elephants, they just cross here. Some of them, they might be at quarantine. We can check quarantine if we may lucky see them, or they proceed towards tree house if they headed in that direction into the bush. But let me take an opportunity to check the western edge of quarantine if we may see this head or not. I haven't seen in my life elephant running so fast like today. Unbelievable. Within 2 to 3 minutes, they cover at least up to 1.5 kilometers. They were so fast. I believe by now if they're still running, they might go on far from the area. If they're not here, we'll be heading back west and try to find out more, because look, the head have split up into two groups. We'll follow up the one that heading towards Triple M. Maybe they might be relaxing on that area. I can see here this head was still running. Some of them are headed straight towards the east.
Morning view of Karula, and what a treat.
Karula, affectionately known as the Queen of Djuma, was born in 2004 to Safari and Mufufunyani. Karula defines success as a mother and a huntress.
It's just the most amazing leopard, this.
Well known for having raised multiple litters of cubs successfully, mothering came naturally to this cat. The Queen was adored by WildEarth viewers from all over the world. But sadly, in March 2017, she disappeared, leaving behind her last two cubs, Hosanna and Shongile, to survive on their own. Her bloodline continues throughout the Sabi Sands, and her memory will never be forgotten. If you want to celebrate the life of this magnificent cat, then head over to our website and find out more about buying a Karula non-fungible token.
Hello everyone, my name is JP. I'm one of your WildEarth eco-training bushwalk guides. So for many years you've been watching WildEarth directly from your laptop or computer. However, now you can watch it directly from your connected TV, your Apple TV, or from your Roku box. And if you are like me, always busy, you can now download the WildEarth app and view it directly from your mobile phone.
BirdLife South Africa, our country's only dedicated bird conservation organization. They have been very successful in a number of areas, including the conservation of more than 150,000 hectares of grasslands and estuary habitat, saving thousands of albatrosses in trawl and longline fishing, and training community bird guides as ambassadors for nature in rural areas. Celebrating their official 25th anniversary, they are sharing 25 of their top success stories across their social media platforms. BirdLife South Africa is currently striving towards the conservation of 132 bird species that are heading for extinction. If we conserve birds, we will protect other biodiversity and important habitats that provide clean water and clean air for humans. Their work is forever ongoing. People who love birds can become a member of BirdLife South Africa or make a donation towards a bird conservation project.
I just can't help myself when it comes to critter hunting. And I think I might have found a little critter. My goodness, Wendy has no power steering right now. It's a good way to tone one's arm muscles, that's for sure. Okay, Dobby, just shy of 3 o'clock, right at the top of the Otheria indica, you should see a grasshopper. I think.
These guys.
I don't know where you are, Zuma. In the middle, right? In the tallest bit here, you should see a grasshopper right at the top. Nope, 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 nope. Up. Right there, the tallest Valtheria indica at 3 o'clock, there's a grasshopper. Yes, there you go, you've got him. That took us long enough. Would you look at that blade of grass? Hello, grasshopper. Happy New Year. Magnificent. And you know, these plants are actually some of the best to look for insects. That's where you'll find your flower mantises, lots of grasshoppers, crab spiders. The mantises took a while to come out last year. I don't know if we're a bit too early, but when you're looking for insects, this is a really good place to start. Now this is a small grasshopper, but I don't think it's actually fully grown. We need to get our cameraman back into critter hunting. If you're not on bushwalk, it's actually really, really hard to spend time with insects. I wonder if the golden orbweb spiders are back. I don't think so. I also think it's slightly too early for them as well. The world of insects and that great diapause. Look at that blade of grass. Ooh. A very tough question. Sorry, it's my favorite bird call. I'm going to answer it in two parts. Fundamentally, all insects have a role to play, and the insect realm is so complicated and so otherworldly. I mean, it's very hard for us to sometimes understand insects, and it's so diverse. I'm going to include arachnids in there as well, just shove it all under the one bracket of insects. And they're all important. But really, for the ecosystem that we're in right now, the low-felt, the backbone of this ecosystem are the termites. We really wouldn't have this entire landscape, this ecosystem, without the termites. They really are the backbone. Remove the termites and you've got nothing. But another incredibly important insect for the environment out here are, of course, the dung beetles. Dung beetles are incredibly important, and you don't just get them in Africa. They're really widespread. There are more species of dung beetles than there are birds out here, but they're also incredibly important in the role that they perform for the environment. So that's a tricky one, to be honest. It's very difficult to answer, but I think if I had to choose, that's the two insects that I'm going to go with. And they do call it Insectageddon. Insectageddon is upon us, because we're really wiping out the insect populations. Pesticides, pollution, habitat destruction. We really are depleting our insect population, which makes up about 2/3 of all life on Earth. And they all do have crucial sort of ecological and instrumental functions. Think about pollination. That alone is crucial for our survival. And it's sad what's happening to insects. We actually need to learn more about them, understand them, and protect them better, which is naturally very, very hard because they are so tiny with really short lifespans. So that was a really good question, but I think all insects are important to run an ecosystem, but I think the backbones out here would be the termites and the dung beetles. And on that note, I think I want to go and find some dung beetles. I should be able to find dung beetles, one hopes. Mark, exactly, you hit the nail on the head. Does look like a little alien. They are so alien-like. They're so foreign to us that it's difficult for us to relate. It's difficult for us to feel passionate about insects, I think. A lot of us find them really creepy or crawly, or they're scared, or they scream when they fly into their face and they want to squish them or spray them or kill them. Not everyone, but generally insects, I wouldn't say they're really loved across the globe. But actually, when you dive into their biology, their ecology, and start to understand them and look at close-up pictures of insects, you really start to see a face. And some insects, believe it or not, are really cute. Really, I'm being serious here. And once you start to understand how amazing they are, I have this wonderful book, The Extraordinary Life of Insects, and it's incredible. Once you start to read it, you just think, wow, there's It's a whole other world that is just so alien to us that we don't understand it. But there's so much going on here. I mean, you take a little patch of the sort of vegetation here that's about 1 meter square. Tiny patch. There is so much happening, especially in summer. From underground, way below ground, to the sort of top level of the ground, to the vegetation, and even in the air, there is so much happening, even although it might not look like it, because there's not a leopard there per se. But there will be so much life, and it's all insect life. But yes, they do look like little aliens. Cute little aliens. Maybe aliens are cute. Who knows? I don't know. But I do love insects, that's for sure. So I'm going to bumble west now because Rexon has headed to Gowrie Dam and see what else I can find.
He's an impressive looking male leopard. Look at that neck on him. He just looks ready for a fight.
This is only the third time that we are seeing him that is known as the Hukamuri male, and he certainly has a lot of character and atmosphere.
This is gorgeous. Hukamuri having a drink at one of the little seasonal pans that's filled up after that beautiful rain we had last night.
First time seeing Hukamuri, isn't he beautiful?
He's got the babies, he's got the baby. 2 of the babies made it away. He's got the one baby.
Only meters away from me, folks.
You know, for all we say he's a gangster and he's got a face for radio, we only tease. He's actually highly, highly adorable.
Isn't he absolutely gorgeous? Compact, powerful, focused.
It's not just Hukamuri, an elephant's approaching. Look at this.
I love it.
Nothing beats sitting around a campfire at night whilst on safari, listening to the calls of the wild and chatting to your guide. If you sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, then you can enjoy this from the comfort of your home. Imagine hearing bush stories from your favorite WildEarth guide and reliving their highs and lows of a life spent in the wild. Every month, WildEarth explorers will be treated to an exclusive fireside chat, special occasions, hot topics, and deep dives into the WildEarth characters.
Everything else is just welling up inside of you, out in nature. You know, some people think I'm weird, but I have an absolute joy. I have a good time.
No, I enjoyed myself thoroughly today.
WildEarth explorers, it's in your nature.
So there we go, look. All 3 in one frame. Look at that, isn't that cool? Oh, that is so special. That is exactly what we had been hoping for, is all 3 of them to come together and make the perfect little family portrait. Welcome back from Lauren with the great insect. Beautiful. We are heading to the south along the boundary road. Look like early of today, this morning, more active. It's more active in around in the area. Already the tracks, leopard tracks were in the area. Breeding herd of elephant were moving in the area. We just hope by driving this road we might find something interesting. We'll take a very slow and observe a lot into the surrounding, what might be into our property. But I believe the elephant direction is right here. We have drove one of the area again. I've just observed the bull is really in mass. You can really smell that from the ground, that he's really chasing this female for purpose. He wants to mate. Of course, having driving Triple M, this is the area of Kara. It might come across a Kara or a Tipi or Shidulu. We had a report yesterday from Lauren that Shidulu, they've located the den of Shidulu female, as I said, the first day when we locate Shidulu, that she's having cubs. It's around the Simbambili area, which is more to our right towards, very close to the fence. It's called Simbambili Dam. She likes to den on that area. We just hope, slowly by sure, she might take the cubs to the east. This is her territory. We have seen Shidulu most. One of the three in this drainage line. Shidulu likes to den also. And furthermore, towards about 400 meters there, there's a pipe, the bridge, where Shidulu likes to really den a lot on that area. So we might see Shidulu. We just maybe wait for a couple weeks. Now leopard, once they get up to 8 weeks, 12 weeks, somewhere there, she might start to move the cubs from one spot to another. Somewhere from 16 weeks, they will be everywhere around in the area. Mother will take them. We might be able to see them. You never know. It's up to a leopard if she decides to move towards the area, if there's no much threat for the youngster, of course. And each and every leopard, she'll put their cubs or den in the center of her territory. We'll be linking back to Lauren. She's in the bamboo.
Good luck, Frickson. Yes, we actually got the message in the group. Shidulu is standing at Simbambili Dam. I don't know if we'll get signal there, but I don't know if she has one cub or two, but she's definitely got a litter. Simbambili Dam. Shidulu hasn't had it easy, that's for sure. She's suffered lots of loss, I'm afraid. Kara, of course, is successful, but she has suffered loss of litters. Doesn't mean she's not a good mother. It's so situational dependent. But she does have cubs. Isn't that just wonderful? Now I'm going to stop here because it's one of my favorite views on the property. We've got blue sky now. And I haven't seen this view in quite some time. This is a junction of Rebecca's and Zoe's. It is just the most wonderful place to stop. Since I don't have any animals for you, big or small, we're just going to stop and admire this view. My goodness, it's so thick. Leopard lover, yes. Oh, the brown hyena. It's been what I called my nemesis animal because everyone around me has seen one, and I've traveled far and wide, and I've just not been lucky. So it just became that one animal that I was just not getting the chance to see. And as I mentioned earlier, I saw a few at Madikwe. One was a fleeting sighting. The other one was a better sighting. And then the third one was actually when we were having sundowners. I mean, I never have sundowners. I'm never a guest. But we were having sundowners, and it literally walked right up to our car. It was extremely, I feel it was habituated, completely relaxed, and just posed. Rolled around for a bit, did some funky hyena stuff that only hyenas can do, and then strolled off. And it was amazing, and it's no longer my nemesis animal. Now I'm looking for an aardwolf. Or a striped hyena. I'll take either one. But yes, it was incredible. I've wanted to see a brown hyena for a really long time. And it was actually Wrexham in either 2004 or 2008. One of those years that actually found a brown hyena on Djuma. I think that's been the only one sighted on WildEarth. But oh, they're incredible. Beautiful, beautiful animals. Similar to spotted in their face, I feel. They have similar faces and similar facial structures, but naturally they do look different. Isn't this view just incredible? I think out of all the landscape views on the property, this one's my favorite. Oh, Darby, did you enjoy the brown hyenas?
So much.
I feel like I shouldn't ask Darby that because he's been very lucky with brown hyenas. He had some fantastic sightings with Dylan in Swallow that I was extremely jealous of. So actually Darby's seen a fair few brown hyenas, but it was a really good sighting. We were on foot, we were off the vehicle, and there were 3 rhino there as well, and the brown hyena just strolled right on past us. It was the creme de la creme of all sightings. But I have a bucket list of species that I want to work my way through, and the hyena or the Hyenidae family is right at the top. I've got no comms. It was like 1 out of 5. Did you get it, Dobby?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, maybe one more time, Jared. Let's see if I can just move my radio. Sir 50, Happy New Year to you. Less bumbled, Dobby, as I answer this one. Or should I say, fail to answer this one? I don't know. So 50? I don't know. I've not heard a brown hyena vocalization. Have you, Dobby? I have not heard one, I'm afraid. But what I can do, Sir 50, is use Google. I'm going to Google that as soon as I can. As soon as I get cell service, which is probably not now, I'm going to Google that. I don't actually know. I don't believe the range, as far as I do know, of vocalizations is as extensive for the brown hyenas as it is for the spotted. The spotted hyenas have a really sort of diverse range of vocalizations, 14 different calls. I don't know. Good question. Thrown me under the bus, Sir 50, on the first day of the year. Okay, I'm going to head a little bit back towards quarantine, see what's going on that side, and you guys are going to head over to Wrexham.
Welcome back from Lauren. We are on Triple M. We have a report of Tandy very close to area called Weaver's Nest, in the opposite direction of the Conservancy, but looking general direction to the north. We'll head in that area. Maybe we might be lucky. See Tandy, if she wants to head north, she might cross at any time. And also, there's a report of wild dogs not far from this triangle of Triple M and Gary Main. They're just about few 100 meters inside our neighborhood. So mainly, maybe this afternoon, it will be the great area to check if we was to follow up with wild dogs. But later, they might come out more or less in the area where we are. With the lines, there was a question of one of the Kuhuma. We'll be linking back to Lauren.
I was just having a look at that termite mound there to see if I could see active termites, but I can't, I'm afraid. There's nothing quite like a termite sighting. Okay, Sir 50, from Google. This is my 30-second search, which could be completely scientifically inaccurate, but Google says it right now, so we're going to go with it. Google says brown hyenas are known for seldom vocalizing. They make small grunts, growls, and squeaks that can only be heard from a short distance. Brown hyenas don't laugh. It's from Google. I will do some further research into that, though. Google can pull up all sorts of wonderful things, sometimes terribly inaccurate. But there you go, interesting. But they are far more elusive in their behavior. They definitely don't hunt cooperatively in clans, and they don't really hang out in clans. They do have a clan, but just like we saw this morning with Comet, Kaikau, June and Novella all sort of moving together, interacting, brown hyenas won't really do that unless it's at a Dane site. So that would make sense that they're possibly not as vocal because they don't need to vocalize. So we'll go with what Google says for now until I can check further. But it really was a fantastic experience. I like seeing new species for the first time, be it an insect, be it a bird, be it a mammal. Just something unfamiliar that you've never seen before. It's exciting, it's new. I'm trying to think where to go now. I think I just want to explore a little bit of the western edge of quarantine again. And see if anything's happening down that side. Hopefully we get lucky, but that's where we're going to head for now.
Fascinating soap opera. Tingana has been affectionately known as the Duke of Djuma for many years. But his path to the throne was not an easy one. Mvula was a legend from the south who tried hard to push the king from his territory.
This is the cat that I'm pretty sure Tingana was sniffing around for. That is Mvula. How exciting is this?
Eventually, Mvula lost, but his young son Quarantine started to push through from the east. At the beginning of 2018, an intruder arrived. His name was Hukumuri. The look on his face sent chills down your spine. WildEarth is launching non-fungible tokens attached to many of these individual animals that we have grown to love on WildEarth. Head over to our website to find out more.
Hello, boy. You are a monster. And he's coming right up to us. Hello, boy. Oh, settle down. Settle down. He is very, very close. He's pushing his trunk against the car. You can feel the car moving. Hey, 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 hey. Stop that.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth Daily.
My name is Lauren, and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me, and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed.
Welcome back on our way to check one of the road, of course, where we get a report of Tandy coming back slowly to the north. It's about like 200 meters to the point, but I can see quite a lot of we're driving Gary Main. See quite a lot of where I'm driving Gary Main, there was a lot of activity. Look at good tracks of art park that were moving in the area, but across into the north. One of the rare species to find it in the area is an anteater. Very common to see the tracks. They get active in the middle of night around 11 o'clock, and early around 4 o'clock they go back to burrows. There's similar tracks if you look, similarity of warthog, and is one of the big species, of course, and heavy. But I've once found the artifact live on Safari Life here on WildEarth, very close to our DRC camp, the Bashotkat Galako. And recently, I know that Aubrey have located 2 months back artifact north of the camp. So there is more of them in the area. The only thing, they're active at night. If you do get to see them while in the hours of the game drive, you're so lucky to find them around in the area. Lots of tracks of hyena. The hyena population in the area is doing well. Everywhere, each and every corner, you see tracks. The tracks of Tandy is not here. Yes, still remember very well. The brown hyena also catch it live on the Safari Live in a record of the history of the area. No one has seen it against it from there. I was the only guide that have located the brown hyena. They all have moved out of the area due to the, if you look at the population of the spotted hyena, it went very high suddenly in the area. The reason behind that, they're more successful when it comes to food around in the area. So the brown hyena, they were pushed off by spotted hyena. Furthermore, I believe to the north. If you go north of Kruger, you might get to see them. Furthermore, those areas where it might be less spotted hyena. If you look at the clan, the clan here in Djuma, when I started this clan, there were not as many as it is at the moment. And we know that there was quite a lot of breakaway from the matriarch or the alpha females. The ones that are fairly into Simbambili, they used to be one clan with the Djuma ones. They break away. Every time hyenas are similar with wild dog. Every time if they feel like they're going to reach a sexual maturity, they will break up into a small sort of clan and start their own clan. You may witness of herself. She may really form her own clan and move out slowly in the area. One day completely, she might not into the surrounding and go somewhere and form his own clan. That's how actually hyena does. All of them, when they reach sexual maturity and get in a certain age, old or young, they have to really get into the hierarchy of competition, who is the alpha female, the controller or the commander of the head of the clan itself. Due to that, you find that there will be always cause breakaway, and they have to move differently. And they have to move differently. We have seen the Simbambili, there's clan where the hyena that were there by Ops Road, and they move furthermore to the west. And Ruben and the others and the old female stayed at Djuma property. We'll be linking back to Tessa, which is in the bumble. Maybe might be lucky with something special.
It's a hyena kind of drive. I'm more than happy to talk about hyenas. But I think this is exactly what Wrexham was saying, the spotties. I love this, the spotties, the brownies, the stripies. The ardies, that doesn't quite work, does it? But the spotties are so successful, really, for so many reasons, especially here in this environment, that they really have probably pushed out the brown hyenas. They're an incredibly successful carnivore. Their power, their social structure, and their feeding behavior. Yes, they scavenge, absolutely, but that's smart. That's really smart to know, there's a leopard in a tree. Do you know what? I'm tired. I've not got the energy to go hunting. It's hot. I'm just going to sit under this tree and sleep, and hopefully, most likely, the leopard will drop something, because there is this thing called gravity. And I get a free meal for doing nothing. And they do hunt. It's really remarkable, and they're incredibly successful out here. Okay, I am on quarantine. I'm just deciding where to go next. It's hard being away for so long. You don't forget the reserve, of course, but you don't know where things are moving. And I find that tough to come back and not know exactly where things are moving. Joanne, you're asking, having cubs for hyenas affect their ranking? Is that right? No, not at all. Not at all. It affects the cubs' ranking, as we were saying earlier. The cubs inherit the rank of their mother. And the cubs cannot be the same. I actually received a message from someone saying, the cubs are so aggressive, one's trying to hurt the other. And yes, absolutely. They're striving for their own little hierarchy. Although they're siblings, they can't be exactly the same rank. So they'll inherit their position from their mother. But after that, they sort of need to establish themselves between themselves, which is a more dominant cub. Okay, don't judge me. My binoculars are really dirty because I haven't used them in a while. Oh, they've just flown off. Did you see them, Davy? It was mating butterflies. I think it was blue pansies. But I think we interrupted their moment. It's actually quite good just to sit by a puddle, and this is the puddle that Novella was drinking at this morning. It's not quite a large water body, but it's large enough for, well, Novella was drinking from it and kindly urinating in it. Insects will come down, and so will the birds. They've flown off. I'm pretty sure it was blue pansies. This is what summer's all about for the butterflies. Mating, reproducing, getting ready for next year. Most butterfly species don't even live a year. I'm just going to give it a moment or two to see if they come back.
Bless you.
My goodness. I don't know why I always sneeze on Djuma, but I do. Come back, butterflies. Starlight, you're asking the difference between bug and insect. And that's really interesting because there's sort of a double reason for that. A lot of people just call all insects bugs, creepy crawlies. Look at that bug. But actually there's a technical reason as well. Bugs are actually a specific class of insects. So when you say bug, you probably are just referring to anything loosely. That's a bug, that's a bug, that's a bug. But actually, if you really want to be specific and technical, there is a class of insects that are Hemiptera, and they are true bugs. So any insect that belongs to the true bug category is technically a bug. However, most people just call all insects bugs, to be honest. And that is the explanation. So you can be sort of general or you can be technical. Okay, I don't think my butterflies are coming back. But sometimes it's just nice to stop. Okay, let's go and check out Gowrie Dam. I know that Wrexham went down that way, however, I'm really intrigued to see the dam. It's been a while. And plus, Gowrie Dam was a really good place to sit and do dragonflies. I really didn't like insects growing up. I had terrible arachnophobia of spiders, which is obviously they're not insects, but I didn't love insects. I didn't feel anything for them. It's only recently that I've dived into the world of insects and just had my mind blown. Just opened my sort of bush onion, I like to call it, to a whole new layer. When I first arrived here, I was told the bush was like an onion. So I guess this applies to any environment, but when you arrive... Sorry, I'm trying not to drive over the dung. When you arrive, most people generally get really sucked into the mammals. We are mammals, we're related, they're gorgeous, leopards, lions, dogs, hyenas. But then after a while you want to learn a little bit more. You want to peel back that layer and see what the next layer is. And maybe for some people that next layer is birds, or maybe it's insects, or maybe it's vegetation, reptiles, whatever. And then once you've build up your knowledge, you peel back the next layer and see what's underneath. And it really wasn't until I started to peel back the insect layer that I realized, wow, this is incredible, and I wish I just knew most of this a lot earlier than I actually did. Spas, good to hear from you. Yes, I'm pretty sure I have seen a nymph of a grasshopper. I think we used to find quite a lot of different stages of insects during bushwalk. Insects are classified to their different life cycles. They're not all the same. And if you think of a butterfly, for example, they start off as egg, caterpillar, pupal stage when they're in the chrysalis, and then naturally the adult butterfly. Lots of different insects have different life cycles, and some have a nymph stage. And yes, I'm pretty sure I have. If you think of a dragonfly, nymph stage is aquatic. So even although they are terrestrial, airborne, flying insects, they start off their life in a completely different phase of their life cycle where they are aquatic and they breathe underwater. It's actually really remarkable how they can just undergo such a transformation. But yes, I think I have seen one. I've got a fantastic book on insects. It's a little bit larger than I thought it was going to be when I first ordered it. But I think I'm going to pull it out this afternoon and we'll start working our way through that. Okay, I'm almost at Gowrie Dam and I'm going to park off there for a while and see what's going on. We're just splashing our way through puddles, making our way to the dam. I'm actually going to put my foot down a bit.
To enforced independence when Karula disappeared. On the 19th of August 2016, we caught up with Shongile, but the afternoon did not go as well as we hoped. Tandy, Shongile's sister, was on the prowl. From nowhere she appeared, and a traumatic fight ensued. As darkness fell, Shongile escaped to a tree.
Shongile is just trying to catch her breath out there.
That was the last sighting of her on Djuma. She disappeared into the wilderness just as her mother before her. If you want to celebrate the short life of Shongile, head over to our website to find out more.
Do you dream of traveling to a far-flung wilderness location where life continues as normal? A place where you can escape to nature and breathe. If you become a WildEarth explorer, then this could soon become a reality. Subscribe today and stand a chance to win regular travel prizes. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. Cape Nature is the chief custodian of the Western Cape of South Africa's natural environment. This highly successful organization strives to conserve the province's natural heritage to ensure a sustainable future. Besides nurturing nature, Cape Nature offers an authentic ecotourism experience to local and international visitors. And one of these experiences is walking amongst the penguins at Stony Point, or as we know it, Penguin Beach. WildEarth broadcasts live from here every day and is very privileged to be partnered with Cape Nature, who have focused their conservation efforts here. If you want to visit these iconic black and white African penguins for yourself, then head over to our website to find out more. Cape Nature. Conserve, explore, experience.
Welcome back from Lauren around Gatti Dam. We are moving here, trying to see if we might get to find more. And we have a report. Tandis is hunting now in the opposite direction of our conservancy, hunting baby warthog. Very surprising where Tandy is at the moment, and of course hunting baby warthog where it's a female warthog can protect. Still, Tandy look like still a strong leopard, very healthy. Of course, hunt warthog, it need more energy because warthog are a lot more vicious. They might Tandy put yourself into trouble there. So you never know. That shows that you never under. So never know. That shows that and he decided it's very old, might hunt something as far as Impala. But I'm so surprised to hear that Tandy is hunting around that area, mainly focusing on warthog. Warthog, we tend to see male leopard likes to hunt warthog, and most of the time we tend to see female are not. It's very rare. They're not really participate or within the warthog society, because they're so dangerous. They can really fight back. Well, looking around here, I would like to check as much as I can before I really head off from WildEarth. I might want to see Kalamba's cubs. It would be very important for my life to see those and also to share with you. And I find it more easy for myself here on WildEarth following Kalamba with the equipment that we use, vehicle-wise, with the short wheelbase. It managed to go in different areas than using a long wheelbase, which it might really be a challenge sometimes to go where this leopard can sometimes cross this drainage line we have in the area. We'll look around. Maybe by the afternoon tomorrow, it will be the best for me to find those little ones. I know that there will be no much effort finding them around, even the way it looks. Not really. The only time that you track something at night on foot, it will be, I'm not sure, not in the reserve. It could be something that get lost, or human being that get lost in the area, and suddenly all concerned, you want to really find out exactly what happened. Then yes, I can track on foot, even in the reserve. But if it's something like animals and all that, at night it's a very dangerous game to play here, because the leopard will see you before and the lion will see you before. Remember, these animals at night, they change behavior. At night they are different species. During the day they're also in another way. Remember, if you human beings set yourself out here and walking, you also be vulnerable because you're the biggest predator, remember, and the competition is so huge for all predators, most especially when you walk at night. The lions will respond, not to kill you because they want to eat you. It's to reduce that competition also, or really killing you in order to they can feed on your body. Not at all. Lions are not like that, unless if a lion have tasted human flesh before, yes, it might. But the lions and leopard that we have here, they will just defend or just kill you for no reason and they're left. So it's very dangerous. You cannot be walking here at night. Not much tracks in the area where we are central, heading mainly towards Gari Dam. Maybe we might be lucky here. Welcome back. We're heading towards Gari Dam. We're gonna head more to the west. I was very keen for the morning to find
lions and buffalo. It's absolute pandemonium.
WildEarth have been privileged to follow the Djuma Pride for many years, and during that time we have grown to know them well. One of the most loved cats in the Pride is Amber Eyes.
So typical Amber Eyes.
Born in 2012, she was not successful in rearing her first 2 litter of cubs and was seen as an aunt to the other youngsters in the Pride.
Amber Eyes is... Oh, that is so magic.
Then eventually, towards the end of August 2019, we found her with 4 tiny cubs of her own. If you love the Djuma Pride and want to celebrate their lives, head over to our website and buy a limited edition token for specific individuals within the Pride.
If I could take you on safari all day and all night, I would. But unfortunately, it's not always the best time to see the animals. Now, in between safaris, you can watch the WildEarth channel with loads of extra shows. If you have a connected television, Apple TV or Roku box, then download the WildEarth app, and if not, then just find it on the App Store on your phone.
Wildlife trafficking remains a growing problem in South Africa, and often made worse by the way the media portray this complex issue. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, have recently embarked on a program whereby they train reporters to better tell stories of wildlife trafficking.
In my community, wildlife conservation is mostly something other people do, and I would like to change that. My name is Iman Singli. I told people I met that the pangolin is one of the most trafficked animals on the planet. But what is a pangolin, they said? Why is it in danger? This is what made me decide that the pangolin story must be told. If we are to play a part in preventing the extinction of this animal, then we must all be part of the battle.
A partnership between WWF South Africa and WESA, supported by US Aid.
It wouldn't be a visit to Gari Dam if he didn't do the monitor lizard. Oh, you got a little itch. Oh, cute. Oh, and a yawn. Were you partying last night as well? Seems like everyone's a little bit sleepy this morning. There's something about, how can I verbalize this? How can I put this into words? There's something about seeing an animal, especially a non-mammal animal, doing something so mammal. Or doing something so human. So this is obviously a reptile, looks a bit alien-like, very different from us, and you just see it lying there. Obviously it's sunbathing because they're also solar powered. And it's just having a little head scratching and a yawn. I find that very endearing. It almost makes these organisms, these species, a little bit more relatable. And I also find that with insects, if you just watch them really closely on a close-up view or a macro lens or zoomed in, you'll see that they also spend time cleaning, and they'll lick their legs, and if they have tongues, that is, and clean their eyes. We actually came across velvet mites at Madikwe, and I have to say they have fast become my favorite insect. If you've never seen one, quickly Google it. They are incredible. And the velvet is naturally, it looks like velvet is hair. And I spent ages just sitting one day watching one, just cleaning all the hairs on his body, twisting from side to side, making sure it's clean, just like a dog would, just like a cat would. And maybe I'm crazy, but I find that really endearing. It just makes it more relatable when you see animals do that. And I can see dragonflies flying everywhere, but none of them are stopping. Do you see any non-mobile ones, Davy?
Not yet.
Yeah, this is going to be tricky. Once the sun comes up, that's when the insects get mobile. So the cats and the predators will go to sleep. They'll all avoid the sun. But insects, it's a whole different story. And that's their time to come alive. Dog bone. Yes, we do get honeybees here. We absolutely do. And if we framed up on a flower, especially a really colourful flower, you would see that the honeybees visit. They're not the same as the big fat bumblebees from the UK. They're the cutest of the cute. But we do get honeybees here, absolutely. My mum actually has a bee hotel in her garden. And that's what it's called, a bee hotel. You can buy them, and it's to help save the bumblebees in the UK. And it's just a wooden structure with lots of different holes and nooks and crannies, and it's in the shape of a little house. And it's for the bees. And it's to give them somewhere to go, especially in winter or when they're struggling. The bumblebees, will come to the hotel. Yes. That's my mother. Come on, dragonfly. Darby and I normally nail the dragonflies. It's not easy. Oops. And I mean, insects in general affect our ecosystems just like ripples in water. They are absolutely so fundamental to our ecosystem, and they're actually said to outnumber the grains of sand on all the world's beaches. I'm going to leave you with that thought as we send you over to Wrexham.
Welcome back from Gary Dam, Lauren, which is trying to check some dragonfly. We are back here, almost Gary Fish boundary. I'm really keen to check. We had a very loud growling of look like a big cat into the area. By now, I believe if they're coming towards the cut line, they might be out of our buffer zone. We just hope so. Maybe they might be lying down. You will never know. We wanted to walk that area to check if there's a lion or leopard. Suddenly we experienced breathing herd of elephant riding fast and across the road. So I'm coming to the area slowly. Maybe I'm just thinking, because I've seen tracks of look like a male leopard. Romeo, yes. I've seen
seen before. And today I also seen that. Across the road, they were highly mobile. To the degree where I thought maybe there's a pride of lion that started to hunt this animal. So it's such a beautiful to witness. So I'll go to the same spot slowly by shore. I've seen that. Maybe I might see more elephant, you never know. It would look like there's a lot of activity of elephant to the western boundary, which is almost in the area where we are. All of them are not out, some of them they might be in a thick, but I hope to see something good here. I have strong feeling, even driving around, looking for those elephants earlier on. I was driving around thinking about, let me go back and try to see if we may get to see what might be growling on that area. But fairly, it's a big cat. It was not an elephant. It could be lion, it could be leopard. I'm not 100% sure. So I might be thinking maybe it could be turtle span mating with Kara, because the Kara, she was more to the eastern side of Sydney's Dam on the kill. We had a report yesterday, so unless she might be finished on the kill. I've seen quite a lot on the tracks information and also from reading on the ground. TP always, when you come across with Kara, it looks like mating is taking place. I don't know what's going on with these particular leopards. Sometimes the female can mate with the male to persuade the male, of course, because they might be a lot more stronger and it can be a threat. So you tend to see a male will do, a female will really mate with him in order to calm down. Unified, it's very common. Let me say some of the evidence, or we don't really get it. Oh, here's an Ellis, as I was saying, we might get elephant into the area. It's very common because when they fight for territory, especially when the dominant male come across with a female that have youngster, you will really kill it. It's in the nature of the leopard. So some of the evidence we don't find it in the area, but what you do, you suddenly see a leopard disappear. So you know that maybe he might be killed. So he's joining the breeding herd of Ellis. Could be the same elephant that the other part of the elephant or the group that were separated, they come slowly, almost the same point where we have seen 40 up to maybe 60 elephants were running across headed more south. Now we just located this elephant. Some of them, they're moving in the same direction. Maybe later on they might be around the Gary Dam during the late hours of the day. I would love the elephant. These ones are more relaxed. This means nothing that really taking place here. Long communication. I believe you have heard that this elephant really these elephants are talking a lot from one another, and suddenly all of them are moving. You can hear that they're rumbling. One respond from the other side and the other one respond from a different angle. And that could be a matriarch that is really in front and moving away from the area. They know exactly where they might be going. Matriarch's duty is to lead the whole herd in different areas, more especially when it comes to availability of water and grazing is concerned.
So it's such amazing. They walk very fast. Let me try to get close to this elephant and really follow them and see where they might take us to. Some of the area here is very thick, but I just hope we'll manage to stay with the head.
Oh, I hope you didn't catch me sneezing there. Very sorry. Summer, pollen, who knows. However, we are sitting at the dam. There's so much going on in terms of insects and birds and life in general, and the sounds are just so fantastic. Sometimes we got a kingfisher, woodland kingfisher. Good morning. Sometimes we talk so much that we forget to listen. So that's exactly what we're going to do for a moment or two. Just sit here and just listen to all the sounds around the dam.
Good morning, Karula. How do you do? Lovely to meet you. Oh, look at that. Hi.
Oh, look, it's just too special. She's such a fantastic mother. Isn't that incredible? Karula's blown a bubble. The W is there, and the O and the next W. So there's the wow on Karula.
I'm not going to come too close because I know you got your babies. And hello, you old friend. Isn't she spectacular?
Look at that, isn't that incredible?
When on safari, there's nothing better than an evening spent under the stars chatting around a fire, with the sounds of the wild all around you. If you sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, you can build your own memories by joining our guides for regular fireside chats. Subscription payments can be made by PayPal, credit card, and now bank transfer. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. BirdLife South Africa, our country's only dedicated bird conservation organization. They have been very successful in a number of areas, including the conservation of more than 150,000 hectares of grasslands and estuary habitat, saving thousands of albatrosses in trawl and longline fishing, and training community bird guides as ambassadors for nature in rural areas. Celebrating their official 25th anniversary, they are sharing 25 of their top success stories across their social media platforms. BirdLife South Africa is currently striving towards the conservation of 132 bird species that are heading for extinction. If we conserve birds, we will protect other biodiversity and important habitats that provide clean water and clean air for humans. Their work is forever ongoing. People who love birds can become a member of BirdLife South Africa or make a donation towards a bird conservation project.
might be going down to the water, or they might be going specific area where they know that it's healthy for them, or maybe they just want to hide away from us. You never know. But they're coming towards those big Marulas in front there. They're gonna come out more or less on that position. We're going to stop there and wait for the head to come. It's a lovely day, of course, for the elephant to move around in the area, because after rain, there's a lot of things that might take place. I mean, grass are so wet, healthy. They can eat healthy grass. Of course, they can debug trees, because also the trees, it gets to, as I was talking about debugging trees, the trees itself, after rain, they really require that, they suck a lot of water from the ground. As you can see, that particular tree, the knop pond, these elephants are coming straight direct from where. So you'll see the tree is debugged, and elephant likes the chromium layer in between the tree and the hard bark itself, which hold more nutritious and hold more moisture, of course. So the elephant will really like to feed on these trees. Most of trees get killed easy on that way, but that is a very good sign, of course, that in the area you have more animals in the surrounding. More animals in general, all of them, impala, kudu, all of them. The reason behind that, when the trees get eaten or leaves get eaten quite a lot, they suddenly send tannins into the leaves, and the elephant cannot eat anything that have that chemical or poison, because it really kills the digestive system. They will debug, because the chromium layer is not even contaminated with the poison that might be on the leaves. So that's the reason you find the elephant, they do that a lot. With the head up, really physical, gonna come out here, they might change the direction or stop because of the view. But they're so relaxed. I don't think they can fear the vehicle. It's just a matter of they need to do their own thing in the middle of it. I'll try to drive slowly towards the direction, about 100 meters, and just check if they're coming or they're stationary at the some point. Sometimes it do happen, you find that the elephant likes to dig bulbs quite a lot in the area. Where they need whatever they were looking for in the area. Thank you. Question from Erica wants to know, the elephants, the predators, it can make the elephant so nervous so long. No, not at all, Erica. They will sometimes handle predators very easy. They can fight back or chase predators. It could be something, of course, maybe, for instance, if they have spotted a human being on foot, that can make them not relax. Or there's a dominant male that is in mass that really is a big threat to the herd. Of course, from the first time when breeding or a bull wants to join the females, they will be so nervous, because a bull will be very, very aggressive, and they don't know what's going to happen. And it's in their nature sometimes to run away from that male and make sure the male have to follow up the rest of the female, uses energy to get to the point where the female might be. It looks like I got them here. They're still coming. Some of them, they're heading towards exactly where we saw the tree debugged by elephant. Look like they are after the elephant that's been in the area and moving to the east. Later on, they might come out there by Kari Dam. quite a lot of youngster, and the young female. Of course, in the head, it will be high demand for these guys, for a male to follow up, because all these female here, they might be in a different status. Some of them, they might be on ostrich, some of them, they might, not so long, get into ostrich. The male will be following behind. Well, look at the youngster coming here. They're moving fast, but slow as you look by naked eyes. But the elephant, one pace that they really take is really a big animal and wide. They move very quick. They cover land so easily within a matter of time. Wow. Position myself. I'm gonna say goodbye for this elephant, of course. As they're moving east, they'll follow a wallowing spot during the day. It looks like it's too hot. They will manage to stay in some of the area, more especially towards the waterhole, where they can really let the youngster cool down. It's in the nature of elephant. It's too hot in the day. Suddenly it opens up. So I would like to thank you and for everyone that have joined us, and wishing everyone Happy New Year from myself, Deza behind the camera, and the rest of the team. We really have a wonderful, wonderful time with you. For all comments and questions, we really appreciate it. I believe we'll be able to meet you in the afternoon. Goodbye.